Freeman Liberty showing some moves, and they kick it out again, and Taylor will try his luck.
Oh, what a pass.
Wow. Round 15 of the Hungry Jacks NBL continues tonight in beautiful Brisbane as the Brisbane Entertainment Centre plays host to the Perth Wildcats. And these fans of Brisbane will be hoping a new year can bring some change of fortunes, let's say, while the Perth Wildcats will be hoping that 2026 can start off in nice fashion. Hello and a happy new year to everyone as I welcome alongside me two of the all-time greats, Derek Rucker and Andrew Gaze, as we take a look at the Mitsubishi Motors ladder. Brisbane still have mathematically a chance to play finals, Gazy. While Perth is sort of caught in between, trying to get to the top four, but making sure those teams outside the top six don't sneak in their spot.
Spot on. And, you know, at 6 and 16, you're a long, long way off it. And let's be honest, they're not going to make the finals. But they still got to believe that they can. And when Darryl McDonald's at the helm, these players would have seen that passionate plea. And it's a big test to see, can he get these guys to play for him, come out and play with some emotion for the legend.
Well, speaking of that man, he has been the story the last couple of days after his spirited press conference where he spoke about believing that he is the right man to coach this club, and he's won in this league. Derek Rucker, he wants to coach, he's passionate. How have you seen the situation?
Well, it's an interesting one. It's not something we've seen a lot of in the NBL, and Darryl McDonald, not a guy who is going to put a lot of spin on the situation. He's going to tell you exactly how he feels, as we saw him do so in that press conference. And right now, he's got to get this team going. I like the energy, Andrew, that he's been able to get from the guys. We'll throw away that last result down in Sydney because, frankly, Sydney are beating everybody like that. And let's see if Darryl can really audition properly for this coaching position.
Well, we know since he's taken over, he's tried to make Tyrell Harrison a focal point of the offense, and so he should, Gazy, because when they've won this year, he's averaged 22 and 11 in wins, and he had a massive game against Perth when they beat them in Perth earlier in the season. Can they get it from him tonight?
Absolutely, they need it because he is such a dominant force. He can go off the bounce, can take little guys, can take big guys, and he can hit a mid-range jump shot. He's a dominant force. He should be the most dominant big man in the competition, and he's right up there. And we've been saying all year, when he's not on the floor, how it looks. Tasha, a week ago, when they're playing Melbourne United, they get 4 up. D-Mac decides to give him just a couple of minutes break, and then straight away Melbourne United go on an 8-0 run and the game's over. That's the type of impact that he can have on a game.
Well, their opponents tonight, the Perth Wildcats. Derek, I heard you in the pre-game show. They are just looking for some consistency. They're 11 and 10. How have you seen their season as a whole? Are they just a team that can't get it together, or is there still time?
Just disjointed, and for a number of reasons. Some of them legitimate, some of them form-based, but injuries have really stung them as well, Andrew. But there's enough depth in that roster where it shouldn't have hurt them or affected them as much as we've seen. 11 and 10 is unacceptable, and right now, who's the leader, who's the star of this team? I think Christian Doolittle has to grab that mantle and go with it.
Yeah, I think you've been a little unkind there because positionally, when you lose your point guard or you don't have a high-impact point guard in this league, it's tough out there. Now, they've been able to camouflage it a bit. Jaron really has come on, and he had that injury issue, so they've had some legitimate hard luck stories. This guy here, though, has been a force and needs to be a little bit more consistent. I know it's a high bar, but needs to be a little bit more consistent. But the thing I like about it is a 7.5 rebounds per game. Here's a warrior, can go off the bounce. Oh my goodness, and he can get upstairs and throw it down on someone if you're in the vicinity. So I like him, and one particular coach reckons he's the best player in the competition.
Well, for Gazy, you just take a breath there and just we'll cross over to courtside because it's always a privilege to have Ariana Prather. Welcome, Ariana.
Thank you, guys. I'm excited for today's matchup. We talked about it during the pregame show. The series is tied 1-1, but I think the true difference maker in who wins tonight is going to come down to the paint, the big men. Tyrell Harrison. Derek Rucker mentioned it earlier this week that he can be the best big man in the league and completely take over the game. If he has that confidence in himself, not only will he take over the game tonight, to pull off this big win at home.
Thank you very much. We'll take a look at the starting fives. Of course, Brisbane, there's a lot they're going with. Mitch Norton to run the point. Dukas all clear to play. Freeman, Liberty and Taylor, well, they need to bounce back after their disappointing performance. And these Perth Wildcats, Ben Henschel and Elijah Pepper will start. Of course, no David Duke Jr., who is out with that elbow injury. We're all set to get this one underway. New Year's Day basketball coming to you from the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. We're both tipping Perth. Derek?
Yeah, I like Perth. I think offensively they'll have too much firepower.
Yeah, it's hard to go past Perth given the recent form of the Brisbane Wildcats. Let's not forget where it came perilously close to beating Melbourne United on this deck a week ago.
They don't have a great record at home, just 2-7, but it's a new year, and maybe that impassioned plea from Daryl McDonald might just get something out of his team.
And one player that perhaps is going to be under scrutiny is Alex Dukas. He come here with a big reputation. I don't think we've seen the best of him, and he needs to have a big one, I think, for the Brisbane to have a chance.
There's Elijah Pepper straight away. Harrison has an impact to the defensive end. And this might be a great start. Here is a great chance for Dukas.
Well, that's what he hasn't been able to do consistently, Andrew, is shoot the three ball. He's below 40% from the field. And as you mentioned, we expect a lot better as Pepper sneaks baseline and gets an easy reverse layup. And Andrew, the Wildcats playing without a true point guard in the absence of David Duke Jr. I thought Jaron really would have slotted into the starting lineup.
I think they've just been very cautious coming off a significant hamstring injury. Those minutes restrictions kicking in.
It's a bit stagnant at the offensive end, so Norton has to get creative.
Sky hook, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar style.
Yeah. Don't see that too often. Here is Doolittle. We want to see an aggressive Christian Doolittle. That's an air ball. Just feeling each other out in the first couple of minutes. As I said, both these teams really searching for some wins. We know about Brisbane losing 9 of their last 10, and that's going to help with Harrison. Of course, Wildcats, though, they've lost 4 of their last 6.
Yeah, and the Wildcats, their record should be a lot better, even with the games. They've lost some games where they were in highly winnable situations. So their form's perhaps marginally better than what their record would indicate.
This time, Doolittle does help himself to a basket.
He's got a significant matchup size advantage on Terry Taylor. Terry Taylor only about 6'4", and Doolittle much taller and stronger. Bullets do not look good on the offensive end, Drew.
Poor turnover. And here's Doolittle.
When combined with that, the alarm bells are ringing. Now, Perth haven't been able to make them pay, but they've had some good looks without connecting. So their defense hasn't been great to start this one either.
They're a bit reluctant to shoot at the moment, so again they go to Norton, and this is the plan. They want to go to Harrison. You touched on those numbers in the pre-game show, Drew. When he scores 20 plus, they're 5-2. When he scores less than 15, they're zipping 10.
That's it.
He's got all 4 early.
Keep going to him right now, because really he is your best option as Dukas falls to the floor, and JLA. Good big men in this game, Drew.
Yeah, and their offense hasn't been great, Brisbane, but I like the fact that the tempo slowed down a little bit. If they get in a running game with any team in the competition right now, it's going to be tough for them. So we've seen the ball get through hands, get to second or third side. Now, they're missing, but the tempo is giving them a chance.
Turnover from Ben Henschel, stepped on the line.
So, Joey, when I look at this Bullets lineup, and I'm talking about offensive priority and guys I want to include in scoring actions, Javon Freeman-Liberty's got to be in almost every offensive possession, as well as Tyrell Harrison. But the advantage JFL has is he's out on the perimeter. He gets better quality touches and the opportunity to make plays for others, including getting Tyrell involved.
Here is Freeman-Liberty. Of course, he and Terry Taylor against the Kings. They went 3 of 22 from the field. So they need to get that right, but they just keep going to Tyrell Harrison.
I like it. No, I don't like it. I love it. I think that's what they have to do. Get him touches. He's a willing passer. When the size that he has, he can find people.
Perth just still looking for their groove. So they go to Harrison again. Freeman Liberty left wide open, so he had to take the shot.
Poor defensive breakdown there by the Wildcats. They get off the hook.
Here's Windler. I would have liked to have seen that go down.
Sluggish start by both teams, putting the ball in the hole. Both 3 of 8.
There's McDaniel. His best game of the season in that big loss to the Sydney Kings a few nights ago for Brisbane. It's going to be Harrison continuing to be aggressive. And now Aquera with an easy find for Windler, left alone under the basket.
Poor transition defense there by the Bullets. And again, if I'm Brisbane, I'm just packing the paint on the defensive end. As Taylor gets to the rack, got bailed out. Elijah Pepper commits the foul. Taylor will go to the line to shoot 2.
2 shots.
Look at that first quarter this season for the Bullets. They're 4-17 in first quarters. A lot of that has just been due to poor defense.
Yeah.
Near the bottom of the ladder of the ratings on defense, and certainly they look a lot better in this one, but I'm not sure if that's good defense or poor Perth offense.
Yeah, I don't think they do look that much better, to be honest with you. I think it's just been that Perth have missed some shots. They've had some good looks, and it's highly reactive, what we're seeing for Brisbane right now. And that might be the conservative nature of what they're trying to do and pack it in. But the trend this year with the better teams is that extended defense. You look what Sydney's doing, you look what Phoenix is doing. It's getting up the floor, it's being disruptive. Now, I don't mind that foul. Tristan Devers putting pressure on the ball. Sets a tempo. When you see the guards meeting him up the floor, putting pressure, that can be infectious as it filters down and encourages those behind. Well, hopefully it does, encourages them to take the lead of what's going on up the floor.
So that Jaron really checked into the game. His second game back from that hamstring injury that he sustained. And an important player for this team is McDaniel. And again, they'll get the ball through hands. Holt's on the floor. Now shown he can knock down the 3 ball, and there he is.
Yeah, he's not going to die wondering what we've seen of him. He's a score-first guy when he gets the ball, both on the perimeter and down low. So you've got to show him respect from the 3-point line.
I thought you'd like him, Drew. He's a real energy guy. Plays with a lot of energy.
He does.
Which they need. He's been a bright spark in a pretty average season for the Bullets. And here he's really going to work. He lost the handle. Mensch was able to get that away just in time.
Very fortunate pickup there by Desch. Knocks down the mid-range jumper.
Oh, my.
And then he gets the steal. So a good bit of play, which leads to easy points. It wasn't from really in the end. It was Aquera. Sunday Desch on his 32nd birthday today. So happy birthday to Sunday.
Certain things that are unacceptable, and that inbounds pass, a sloppy bounce pass that gets picked off. Just need to be a little bit more energised when it comes to advancing the ball and taking care of it.
Well, the man that started hot early for Brisbane, Tyrell Harrison, he caught up with Ariana Prather pre-game.
Talking about your team, this is a new year, a fresh start. What are some of the things that you guys want to turn over a new leaf and work on this season for the remainder of the season?
Yeah, I think it's just for us to come out and play a full 40 minutes of basketball. I think it starts there, and then just being just more disciplined and just everything that we do really, from defense to offense to transition, just know what shots we want and yeah, just try to execute the best as we can.
We've been talking about it on and off again this whole season, how dominant you are as a big man inside and how you could possibly be one of the best big men in the league. When you think about your game, how do you want to just bring that dominance every single time you step on the court?
Yeah, for sure. I feel like it starts with execution for me. Starts on the defensive end, trying to anchor the defensive end the best of my abilities. And then, all the boys believe in what I can do offensively, try to be as dominant as I can down on the block. But, yeah, just, again, keep believing in myself and just, backing myself.
Well, Ruck, you are a numbers guy, and the numbers speak themselves. In wins this year, as I said earlier, he's averaged 22 points, 11 rebounds. In losses, just 13 points and 9 rebounds. So there's no doubt that he has a significant influence on this group.
Well, he's so efficient on the offensive end when he is scoring the ball effectively. And this is a guy who I thought should have been in the NBA this summer based on what he did at the NBA Summer League, excuse me. And for him to be in the Bullets uniform is great fortune for the Bullets, and they need to figure out a manner to keep him happy and utilize him and develop him even more as Devers gets to the rack.
Devers doors, ties it all up. Ariana, you're listening in to Daryl McDonald in that timeout.
That's right, and I have to double down on Derek's sentiments. I think that the Bullets have to find a way to keep Tyrell active and happy and continue his growth while he's in a Bullets uniform. But listening in to Coach D-Mac, he was telling his team, do the little things. Rebound, get back on defense. He doesn't feel like they're giving that effort that we've often questioned early this season on whether or not they really want it. So let's see if they can pick it up now to end this first quarter.
So on Ariana's point, Gazy, how can you call a timeout 6 minutes into the first quarter when that's their focus and not get what D-Mac's been asking for with the effort?
Yeah, it is, and it's just reinforcing those things. And I think that inbounds pass was the catalyst to that quick timeout to try and make sure you set the standards and say that is just not good enough. At this level, you can't be making that type of fundamental mistake. And I think with Tyrell Harrison, which are all the points you're making are valid, but one thing you can do now might be there's been foul trouble. It's averaging 27 minutes a game. To me, with the circumstances that the Brisbane Bullets are facing, 35-minute man for me. 35-minute, okay, you're going to get tired. Well, we'll turn the other way when you're tired, but just get him out there a little bit more in the transition offense. Oh, making the most of it.
Well, something that's often forgotten, Andrew, amongst the coaches is using timeouts just to rest your players. They don't always have to be tactically driven.
Yeah. Stetch, as we said on his birthday, gets himself another couple of points. Daniel Norton. Liking the instructions. Wants to get it to Holt. Instead, he decides to probe himself on another veteran and former teammate Wagstaff as Smith-Milner cuts baseline and will go to the strike.
Good offense there by the Bullets. Didn't quite go to the script, but they do a good job of improvising. As we look at the Amy replay, this is that last, after a basket, for Holt to get a layup like that, that would drive John really crazy. I like Holt. He's rugged, strong in the upper body, plays hard. And I think his touch is going to continue to develop. He'll be one of those rare, rugged three-point shooting guys.
Yeah, real meat and potatoes type guy that every team needs. And this guy here is a veteran, Terry Smith-Milner, coming off a career equaling high three-pointers. He had 4 of them in his last outing, albeit it was a lopsided affair. That's what he can do. He can stretch the floor. That's when he came into the league. It's always been him, both with the national team and at the lower levels. He's that stretch four. And they need him to knock down some threes.
Here's JLA. He wants to go at Jacob Holt. He does a really good job defensively. And then JLA gets the offensive rebound and then goes again and shows some athleticism.
Wow. Great effort by JLA. Stayed with it, missed the first shot attempt and scrambled and got the ball back and finished nicely.
Here's Norton again. Smith-Milner, as you just spoke about, he was knocking down those 3 balls.
26.
And that foul's on McDaniel.
Well, they need to find it from somewhere. They're one of the worst three-point shooting teams in the competition, only at 29%. They take almost 26 a game. So they... makes a big difference if you can get a little bit more consistency, and Smith-Milner is one of those.
Okay.
Talk about three-point shooting. Perth, again, are not a good three-point shooting team, and they're not messing around with it in this game. They've only taken 2, Andrew. They've taken 15 twos. They're really trying to attack the paint.
And there's another example of it. Henschel got into the paint. Now in transition, McDaniel decides to pull up. He also knocked down 4 threes of his own. That loss to the Kings.
So to me, I know he's coming off a hot one from the three-point line. To me, early on, although they weren't making it, it was a better strategy, just using the ball, kind of a la jack jumpers and how they play.
The offensive rebounds are starting to add up for the Wildcats. Now got 5-2 in that possession.
Wagstaff will go to the stripe, and of course you can switch seamlessly between the NBL, NBL1, WNBL, all the one-stop shop, the hub. Get all the content from the league, track players, scores, highlights, everything you want. Just download the free NBL app at the App Store on Google Play now. Scan the QR code. Don't miss a thing as Wagstaff gets the first one to go.
And if this stays true to form and it's a low-scoring game, offensive rebounds and free throws will be vital down the stretch.
Tick inside the final minute. Dukas. Disappointed he couldn't get that one to go. Now Henschel decides to let one fly. And they make their first for the night.
Well, Joey, remember, it was a Ben Henschel flurry on the defensive end the last time these teams met. Had some dunks in transition and turned that game into a rout.
He's had good form in the previous two meetings against Brisbane this year, averaging 12.5 points. Dukas shoots the air ball, and Smith-Milner couldn't finish. Harrison's competing against three.
Well, in the first 2 or 3 possessions, Andrew, I said that Brisbane looked less than average on the offensive end, and they're going to end this quarter with only 16 points.
Yeah. They need to try and get a stop. Perth with a bit of momentum late. Henschel providing a bit of a spark. And he has 5 quick points off the bench. And all of a sudden, at quarter time, in what was tight, Perth get out by 9 points from the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Well, congratulations, Invisible Man. You've done very well, Chris. Well done. You're a basketball player and a magician. Congratulations. How was it feeling then on the court? It's really good. Well, mate, congratulations. Some excellent skills done there, and there's also some excellent skills to be used in construction pathways. We need lots of trainees building up to the 2032 Olympics, and we need some young people out in the trades right now, all thanks to construction pathways.
Second quarter coming up. Wildcats 25, Bullets 16. Reds get our team on top by half-time. Brisbane, are you behind your boys in blue? Make some noise!
Welcome back to the Brisbane Entertainment Center, where the Perth Wildcats have a 9-point lead over the Brisbane Bullets. I was listening into Perth's head coach, John Riley, during that last time out, and he told his team, awesome job on defense. He's happy with what's happening on that end, but offensively, he said, we have to get back to our flow. Guys, I think they're doing great on both ends, but if coach says it, it's got to be true.
And straight away, Freeman Liberty with just a really poor turnover. It was Henschel who finished fast in that first quarter with 5 points. Chul tried his luck. And then he gets something going here, Brisbane, just to stop the momentum.
You know, Joey, I expected a lot more for Javon Freeman-Liberty on his return to the Brisbane Bullets. He had one decent game, but overall, he just hasn't provided that spark that we saw from him at the Blitz and in the early rounds of the NBL before he hurt his ankle, which subsequently led to him going back to America briefly.
Yeah, and with only 10 teams in the competition, players are scouted to an inch of their life.
Yeah.
And it doesn't take long for coaches to identify what to do. And I think he's been one of those guys. I know he missed a chunk of the season, but they've taken away some of those assets that we saw early on. And it never helps when there's no great flow or really structured sets for him. A lot of it's just coming out of accidental plays.
But not only that, Andrew, I think he's a guy that wants to get out in transition, and when you're not getting stops, when you don't rebound the ball, when you're not generating turnovers, where he can get out into open space, half-court basketball may be challenging for him based on what you said.
Yeah, or just be more deliberate in your sets for him. So here's our suite of actions that are his plays. And we're going to him, and of course there's continuations if his actions are not on. But you prioritise him on 3 or 4, there he sets, and see if he can make something happen.
Well, Taylor had to make something happen, and they'll take that.
Oh yeah, they will. He knocks down his first bucket of the game.
Only been shooting the free ball at 19% this season in his 7 games. That was more than handy. Here's Windler. Yet to really get going tonight. What have you made of Dylan Windler's season? Just look at these last 10 games, only averaging 10.5 points a game. It's always consistent, but hasn't had any of those big performances that we saw early in the season.
Andrew, I'm not sure if you agree, as well, it's almost turned over before Tyrell picks it up and goes to work. Finishes inside, but Windler's season has almost been symbolic of the Wildcats season as a whole.
Good point.
Decent games here and there, some disappointing games, and some injuries.
Yep, it's a very good point. He's a big part of it.
Oh, Harrison got the steal and then clashed heads, and this is the last thing the Brisbane Bullets need.
Got a backcourt, we've got red ball.
And Tyrell missed most of the end of NBL25 with a head knock. And this is an unfortunate one. Both guys going after the ball. Oh,
nasty.
So hoping for the best for both these players.
Terry Taylor,
You know how tough Mitch Norton is. He's getting attended to. Tyrell Harrison, that's the concern, Derek. You mentioned last season's issues, and now he's slow to get to his feet.
The fact that he's had this type of response, and rightly so, the cautious way they approach head injuries, I think it's unlikely that he's going to be able to see any more action in this game.
just incredibly unlucky. Both guys.
He's going off with a bit of a limp.
With a limp also. And both guys hustling after a loose ball and
I've stopped it for player safety.
victimized by friendly fire.
Reviewing that play, okay? Blue had possession of the ball in the front court.
Oh.
Blue had possession
And you
of the
see
ball.
him, his left ankle, Andrew, was bent a couple of different times in a weird manner.
Blue stopped it for player safety.
I'm not sure what's causing him the biggest issue when he was laying down, whether it was the head or the ankle, because they look pretty nasty on both counts.
Well, we often see that in boxing, Joey, when a guy gets knocked down and his legs give way and the lower extremities are put in compromising positions.
I did review it, that's what it was.
So fingers crossed, nothing too serious, and unfortunately in some ways symbolic of the season the Brisbane Bullets have had. We know about the injuries to all their imports.
So he came on for Norton and
So Norton obviously is trying to stay in the game, but there's some doubt as to whether or not.
Well, I think if you've been attended to by medical staff,
you
have to come out.
Unless you call a timeout.
Yeah, you have to come out for at least one play.
And given the severity of that knock, Joey, to the head, you would think that he would require further examination nevertheless.
Yeah.
you heard the comment from the official that they both got looked at, so they both have to go out regardless of the circumstances.
You can come back in this play.
There you go.
Opportunity for Holt to get some more court time, and McDaniel now to try and lead this group. They score some more points on offense. Freeman Liberty wants to go into Holt to get a nice job of getting the seal on Windler.
Thank you. Grab around the waist.
There's been another issue with Windler. In a few games, he's gotten into some foul trouble along the way. And he is a potential superstar in this league. We saw that in the playoffs last year against Melbourne United, where he was very special. He's had some big games, like you mentioned. But the thing I love about him most is he's a constant threat on the glass. He's one of the better rebounders as a free man.
McDaniel gives it up for Freeman Liberty, and that will do his confidence the world of good to see that drop. Back-to-back threes for the Bullets.
Nice penetration there by Sam McDaniel, just to pull Freeman Liberty's defender in a little bit, with freedom up as Henschel getting to the rack again, and now he goes down holding his left wrist.
One shot.
He's been outstanding thus far, 3 or 4 from the field, 7 points.
Playing some real aggression on offense, looks confident.
Yeah, and look at the Amy replay, just getting downhill. You got 2 guys there, you see on the right, McDaniel there. Now, I know that a lot of teams say, well, you don't come off the guy in the corner, but if it's going to be an uncontested layup, rely on some other rotation rather than just allowing him to waltz into the rim as easy as that.
We spoke about the David Duke injury, and hopefully he's not out for too long with that elbow, but it's giving opportunity to some guys to get more court time like Henschel.
And sometimes these guys need the court time just to sharpen up their games. As Jacob Holt, Andrew, that's sustainable. Yeah. That is a good-looking shot. And he's now 2 of 2 from deep.
And in both these three-point attempts, there hasn't been anyone within 2 meters of him.
Now knocked down 3 triples in a row, the Brisbane Bullets. Starting to see the ball go into the basket. As well, Achul, with his move, gets a couple of points. Brisbane getting some flow on offense. 10-5 run to start the quarter.
Bad spacing.
Now McDaniel. So back down on Windler, and that's nice.
Against Melbourne United, we saw him knock down a couple of those mid-range fadeaways where he just elevates. Excellent mid-range touch.
Now Doolittle can't respond at the other end, and then, unfortunately for Brisbane, Freeman Liberty and McDaniel both went for the same ball. It was unforced in the end, the mistake. Round of applause from the Brisbane crowd for Norton checking back into the game.
Blue 32, pushing foul, red ball. Oh, he was.
Brisbane have done a good job in changing
Here we go, sideline guys.
their defensive energy in this quarter. And whoa, Taylor.
Right here. That's why I called a foul.
And he subtlety in his desire to go around the screen.
And whenever they turn around to the score bench like that and say, yep, that one's on me, you know there was some intent behind it.
Now Pepper. That's going to be a Brisbane ball.
Who's ball? Who's ball?
They're doing a nice job here in this second quarter, the Bullets. They can tie it up or take the lead on this possession. McDaniel again attacks the paint, draws the foul.
Good basketball. Simple action there by the Bullets. Get the ball to one side, swing it, get it to one of your primary playmakers, and Sam McDaniel does a good job in drawing the foul. Their offense looks a little bit more patient and settled as well on this in this quarter, Andrew.
Yeah, that's right. And I think that they've been getting some decent opportunities. Occasionally quick shooting it, but the attack on the rim has looked pretty good.
48% from the field, 33% from the three, and you know, if you put that across their season measurements, they're doing well on the offensive end efficiency-wise.
Oh, word, and that 5 or 6 from the free throw line, which you, as you mentioned, is going to play a big part. They are not one of the better free throw shooting teams, only 70%. So they've seen a few of those go down. Good hands by McDaniel.
They got the steal and a chance in transition to take the lead. Hands it off to Jacob Holtz, who gets it to go. They can finish the play, and now all of a sudden the crowd that were just a little bit quiet at the start, they've come to life.
It's a small thing, but I love the reaction when there's a lot of doom and gloom going on about the Brisbane Bulls, but look at the reaction.
Yeah.
That's not uncommon from the big fella, just to show some excitement, some joy about being out there and having the opportunity to hoop it up in one of the greatest leagues in the world.
Well, he came into this season under an injury cloud, had a problem with his hip, and now he's right and paying dividends for the Bullets.
Let's get down to courtside. Ariana has a special guest with her.
That's right, a special guest indeed, Hunter Maldonado. I know a lot of Brisbane fans were heartbroken that you weren't yet cleared to play in tonight's game. How hard is it to be on the sidelines right now and watch this team go to battle?
Extremely hard. Obviously, you know, being healthy and sitting out is never fun. So for me, just trying to give everything I can from the sideline, tell them what I see, go out there and help any way I can.
Now, do you have an expected timeline of when you will be able to return?
No, it's kind of, obviously with the holidays, it's tough. Government being shut down, trying to get my visa through, so taking it one day at a time. Hopefully it's the next game.
Whenever you do get cleared to play, how do you feel like you'll best be able to support this team and showcase your talent?
Obviously being another ball handler with how I played at Southeast, being able to bring the ball up against pressure. And just kind of being myself, whether it's on defense or offense, getting guys open, and then on defense locking it down and helping them out on that end.
Well, everyone's a big fan of your game. We can't wait to see you in a Bullets uniform.
Me either.
Hunter.
Gazy, what do you think of the decision to get Hunter Maldonado, and what can he add to the group?
Well, I guess the fact that best ability is availability, and he was available, and he showed enough in his time with Phoenix that he's a high-quality player, but just wasn't the fit that was right for them. And if they hadn't known it was going to take this long, maybe they might have considered a more broader bunch of players to look at.
Well, it is the holiday period, and sometimes just logistics of getting paperwork filed and sorted can be tricky.
Here's Norton, looks to be okay, although he turns that ball over. He really tries to set up Henschel.
Oh, yeah. I've seen a few air balls in this game already.
And now Taylor, thought about it. Now they go to Holt, who's got the mismatch. And there's another air ball.
Well, he let really off the hook there. He's got to get to the middle of the floor and finish with the left hand as Doolittle goes straight down the tunnel and finishes over the front of the rim.
Henschel almost sniffed out an opportunity. Allows Freeman Libby just to scroll all the way down coast to coast for an easy layup.
Well, they had a couple of interceptions from this extended defense, but overall the extended defense by Perth Wildcats has not been great.
Pepper able to get to his left hand. Here's McDaniel. Again, just patient, and
here you go. Another air ball, Drewy.
Here's Doolittle. Tried to draw the foul on Taylor, who did a pretty good job.
See, that is a no-pass offense. 4 guys standing around and just watching the ball carrier. That shot is on at any stage of a 24-second shot clock opportunity. I think the data would show they're a bit more successful when they get it through a few sets of hands.
As JLA gets another bucket, he's the first scorer for Perth in double digits. He's got 10.
And I agree with you, Andrew. If you're going to go ISO early, your first priority should be getting to the rim or getting into the paint. But just a mid-range forced jumper, that's just not good basketball.
Here's Holtz, who's already got a career high 11. Now he's got 13. And we've still got 3 minutes to play in the first half. He stepped up without Harrison.
He's almost had a perfect half, Joey. Just that little turnaround jumper where he let Jaron really off the hook on a mismatch is his only blemish.
He's doing a pretty reasonable job trying to guard JLA.
He might be due for a rest.
It looks like he's struggling to get down the floor, but he might have one right shot.
Fly.
And that foul will be on Jaron Riley.
And his contribution's been valuable. They were down 9 at the first quarter break, and Jacob Holt's second quarter minutes have been key in getting the Bullets up by 1. Just the energy.
Yeah, that's it. The performance has been outstanding, but the energy on top of that, there you see with the 13 points, leading all scorers, with a couple of 3 balls included in that 13.
There's Dukas from the inbound. That's halfway down, but Smith-Milner did a good job. In the end, the pass led Smith-Milner to the basket and didn't hit the ring on the layup.
Struggled there with his offhand. Just lost control of that ball.
There's Aquera. Windler left alone. There's a lot of holding going on in there. That was against Wagstaff.
Perth again, Andrew. The Bullets play smart on the defensive end, pack it in. The Bullets really forcing the Wildcats to shoot from the outside and living with the result. And right now, the result is Perth are 1 of 8 from deep.
Yeah. Both teams will go into this halftime break and perhaps need to have a look at some vision and refine a few things, because we are not seeing championship level basketball in this contest so far. Now it's tight, and the intention, the emotions of it, what it means for both these franchises, that can get some steel elbow action going on, which we've seen a lot of.
By steel elbow, you mean extreme tightness as you start to shoot the basketball.
Taylor knocks down both, only 50% on the season. He's got 2 from 3 from the line. He's up to 5 points, and it's back to an equal game-high lead for Brisbane. They trailed by 9 at quarter time. Wagstaff. Crafty vet will go to the free throw line.
Blue 18. Hit. 2 shots. 2 shots.
Of course, we all know Hoops Fest is now not far away. A couple of weeks. Opportunity to get over there. Biggest basketball culture and lifestyle festival. There's the Hoops Fest fan zone, Festive Cup, the Sneakerland events. And of course, you get 20% off all Hoops Fest tickets as an exclusive broadcast offer. So make sure you scan the QR code. Thinking about heading over there, live in the area.
Well, even the locals, what an unbelievable opportunity to go see a whole bunch of basketball, get up close and personal with a lot of the teams and the players.
Will you be doing any personal appearances anywhere, Andrew?
I have not been invited, but
okay.
You know, I'm always available.
Here's Davis. And Dukas now from the logo. And they are starting to see that 3-ball drop. And John really wants a tangerine timeout as the Bullets extend to 4 points.
Yeah, just need to have a think about it. They've given up some second shots, the great kick-out pass, and good find to get Dukas a wide open one. He was overdue, 0-4 from that one, but that was nothing but cotton from a long way out.
Well, this is his reputation as being a shooter. And when you look at the stroke, in particular that one there, it's pretty. But as a professional, quite hasn't found his rhythm. And John really, he's found his anger. Very disappointed with his team's performance thus far, down 4.
At both ends, he's got problems. Only 38 points in the half at 41%, 1 of 8 from the 3-point line. And it's not just the 1 of 8, it's the 8 as well. Not a lot of opportunities. And you mentioned it earlier, and I think you're spot on. This is not by accident. This is a concerted effort to get to the rim, because they haven't been a great 3-point shooting team across the season. So trying to pounded into the paint.
And that's fine. The problem is when you miss open looks from the three. When you miss quality looks, sometimes it's not always about the volume, but you got to be able to punish the defense when you get great looks from the three.
Of course, this is Perth's third game on the road. They've got 5 consecutive away games, so they're halfway through this run. Although they do have a good record on the road, 7-4, only 4-6 at home.
That's the thing that surprises me the most, 4-6 at home. And 3 of those games they had won 99 times out of 100, and they were able, unfortunately for them, weren't able to close the deal. And this is what we see with the Perth Wildcats. They go through periods where they just can't score. They're just extended periods where they just can't find someone to get hot, can't make simple shots.
Just look a bit lackluster, don't they? Not as much energy at the moment. Henschel's the only one really that has played with that energy, and maybe they need to keep going through him. He's got 10.
He's got that live body. He's aggressive, and right now he's in form.
They swing the ball around. Freeman Liberty left wide open. Foul on Devers.
Blue 6, push.
Good call there, but also good effort by Devers. That's how you got to play. Knowing you got one foul to give, go after it.
Can't run here, okay?
5-second differential. Shot clock and game clock. Here's Doolittle, just the 4 points. 3 rebounds in the first half, the leader.
Way too loose with the ball, some of these players.
It'll be Henschel. He wants to go at another youngster in Devers. Gives it up to the veteran Wagstaff. He loses his footing, and this will open the door for the Bullets if they can capitalise. They've got time. Freeman Liberty gets it to go on the baskets. And that has been a 15-point swing in the second term. They trailed by 9. They now lead by 4. And all of a sudden, there's some positive body language out of these Brisbane Bullets.
Well, generated by excellent defense and effort by the Brisbane Bullets in that second quarter. Wagstaff tried to get to the rack, just got tripped up on his own feet, and great move here by JFL, and shows tremendous skill to finish just before the horn.
Well, New Year's has started well for the Brisbane Bullets. Still a half to go, though, but Ariana has a player who's having the game of his life so far.
That's right. I'm here with Jacob Holt, leading all scorers at halftime, and your team has the lead. I didn't know you could knock it down from deep like that. How are you able to check into the ball game and immediately contribute?
It's all about the work you put in off the court and in the silent gym yourself. So I just trust my work, and at the end of the day, if it goes in, it goes in.
I know the Perth Wildcats are going to try to make a run in the second half. What defensive keys or adjustments do you guys have to make to maintain this lead?
Just playing hard and cover for each other. I think if we do those 2 things, we'll be all good.
Way to work, Jacob.
Yes, appreciate it.
You heard it from Jacob Holt, the leading scorer here in Brisbane. We'll break down that first half after this short break.
He looked up at the ring. Oh, look
Oh, nice pass though. With a rebound fade away. Wrapped in that run. Oh. Blue ball, blue ball. Interception. I want to see it dunk. Look at the wrist. Look at the wrist. Oh, another interception. Another steal. Good passing there. Good passing the ball. I don't know who that was off at. Oh, lovely steal.
Well, the Brisbane Bullets at home are certainly putting on a strong performance against the Perth Wildcats. They trailed by 9 at quarter time, but at 28-15 second quarter sees them go into the halftime break with a 4-point lead here with Derek Rucker and Andrew Gaze. Well, we all thought this was just going to go Perth's way, but credit to the Brisbane Bullets. They've played their style and so far it's working.
They picked it up on the defensive end and they got control of the rebounding count in that second quarter. And Andrew, when you look at this game, the Perth Wildcats at some point are going to have to be more unselfish on the offensive end, generate better shots for one another, and Windler and Doolittle have to pick it up.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And you look at those numbers and the 13 to 6 assists, I think, is indicative. A lot of what the Perth Wildcats is doing is coming off the dribble, a lot of ISO ball, and it just hasn't been successful for them. Both teams, their offense has looked a little sluggish from time to time, and it's just that, I guess, with the emotion of the circumstances and the ability to knock down a couple more threes, the slight advantage going to the Brisbane Bullets.
Well, we'll take a look at the Hungry Jacks halftime highlights, and it's Jacob Holt. Probably not the man we thought coming into this game we'd be talking about at halftime, Derek, but certainly in the absence of Tyrell Harrison, who went out of the game with that injury in the second quarter, he's taken his chances.
And this performance by Holt doesn't surprise me. This has been building. The momentum has been going in his direction. He gives effort, Andrew. He's a big body. He's enthusiastic. You know what he is? He's grateful to be in the NBL, and he's taking advantage of the opportunity.
Oh, no doubt. I love the energy he brings, the excitement, the circumstances have been great for the Brisbane Bullets, and that's the thing you need, both for you, yourself, your teammates, the fans. Get some excitement, and he's done that here tonight. 5 of 7 outstanding shooting, 2 of 3 from the three-point line, which is, these days when you think of a four-man, you need to be able to knock down the three ball. So he can, long-term, good option as a stretch four, bouncy around the rim. Love everything about him.
Yeah, nice numbers on the Blackmores stats. Now, for the Perth Wildcats, well, Ben Henschel has been excellent, but the other man, Gazy, you wanted to see, they go through and have to have a big performance, was Joe Lawal-Achul. What did you make of his first half?
Well, he's aggressive. They were playing through him. He had 10 field goal attempts, 4 of 10, and he's been good. He's also hitting the glass. You see with the rebounds, with the 6 boards, so he's been active. Sometimes you see Joe Lawal-Achul, he looks a little lethargic out there, but tonight it seems like he's played with a lot of energy, and unfortunately hasn't been able to shoot the ball as well as what he would like, but they're going to need more of this. You can see the advantage he has, particularly now without Harrison on the floor. He can get down low, he can take people off the dribble. So I like the fact that they're playing through him.
And the 6 rebounds too has been a good first half. Of course, though, tomorrow night is where the Hungry Jacks NBL, we are heading to Adelaide. Gazy, I know you're heading over there. Derek, I know you'll be glued to the TV to watch this one. This is going to be one of the games of the season. Adelaide 36ers, Sydney Kings. two of the informed teams of the competition.
And Sydney have had their number, Andrew. They've done a good job on them defensively, and right now, the way the Kings are playing, do they go into this game as the favorite?
Yeah, well, I think they do, given their performances against the 36ers, but it's still, boy, oh boy, have we just got action. I tell you what.
What about United down in Tassie?
That's going to be a huge one. One of the best games of the season, the opening round in Tasmania, where the Jack Jumpers came up short, only just, I think it was 4 points to United. So it's still plenty of action all over the joint. And the Kings Phoenix on Monday night, that's another one that it's just penciled in as one that could have big bearing on the outcome at the end of the season.
Yeah, that'll round off round 15 of this Hungry Jacks NBL, but we still have a massive second half to come here from the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Can the Bullets cause an upset and beat the Perth Wildcats? Still got one half to go. Stick with us, second half right after this. Both teams almost ready to get back on the floor for the second half here from the Brisbane Entertainment Centre. The Bullets leading by 4. Let's get down courtside to Ariana for an update on Tyrell Harrison.
That's right, guys. Luckily, Jacob Holt has been balling, and because he'll have to do that a lot more in the second half. I was just told by the medic here in Brisbane that Tyrell Harrison is not yet cleared to come back and return to the ball game. We saw that terrible collision he had with Mitch Norton where he was hit in the head and limped off the court. I'm told he also has internal bleeding inside his mouth that they're trying to get under control, so he will not be able to even be close to being cleared to play in this game until they get that bleeding under control in his mouth, guys. He's not on the bench. He's still in the locker room, so I'll keep you guys updated once I get something.
Yeah, thank you for that, Ariana. That doesn't sound good for Tyrell Harrison.
No, it doesn't, but I think for Brisbane, you gain some confidence that they've been able to look good without him, or certainly get the lead without him. And I guess that on the flip side of that, the Perth Wildcats, with playing Brisbane Bullets for all the problems they're having without Tyrell Harrison, and they're trailing by 4 at halftime, is highly unexpected.
Well, for the Wildcats, this is just emotional. Do you want to play, or do you want to lose this basketball game? You got to get engaged and come out and perform like this means something to you. Their effort right now has been quite lackluster.
Yeah, as Damon Larry says, without it being a half-time one where John really might have thrown some furniture around in there, because it feels like they need some sort of spark.
Well, they need something, don't they? They need something to jolt them into the urgency that is required. And, yeah, defensively, had some issues, but even offensively, the pace at which they're playing, the urgency in their cuts, although there's not many cuts, it's not a level where it's going to generate consistent success.
Straight away they go to Doolittle, who scores. And the question is, how much juice do the Brisbane Bullets have in their legs? Of course, this is their 5th game in 12 days. They've had a treacherous little period over the festive season. Can they finish it off? Give themselves a chance for just their 7th win of the season. You expect Perth to play much better this half, so Brisbane want to have to up their game.
Nice set there. Get a little floater from Holt that didn't go in, but that's the type of offensive execution. Henschel steps out of bounds. It's plays like that, Andrew, just a lack of focus, lack of attention to detail, and it comes off of one pass.
Yeah, that's right. There's still a long way to go in this contest. But the way these teams are playing, there's a strong chance it's going to go down to the wire.
It's the second time Henschel has actually stepped on the line. Did it in the first quarter as well. Now Dukas trying to drop it off to Holt, but it was well read. Perth are off and running. JLA, seen him do this before, goes the length of the floor, he's got 12. And then Freeman Liberty almost turned it over. Heads up play from Windler, not quite. Now they're going to take advantage, comes up short. And now Windler, wanting to go at Norton, who did a good job. Pepper, wide open in the corner. That's regulation for him, and just like that, it's gone on a 7-zip run to start inside the first 90 seconds, and DMAC needs a tangerine timeout.
Well, out of broken play, Windler draws a foul that wasn't called, and then Pepper knocks down the second Wildcats 3 of this ball game. Some of this transition basketball, Andrew, is not reminiscent of the Showtime Lakers at all.
No, it's a long way from that, but good ball movement by the Wildcats. The way they swung it from one side to get a really good three-point shooter, a wide open look. I'd like to see a bit more of that in this second half.
Well, I said earlier that Ariana had a special guest in the second quarter. Well, she's upped herself now and has gone and got a superstar to join us here at the Hungry Jacks NBL. Frances Tiafo, tennis superstar, Ariana.
That's right, I'm with a superstar indeed, tennis icon Frances Tiafo. Welcome back to Australia. How are you enjoying the game so far?
Nah, it's great, it's great. First time out here at a Brisbane Bullets game, so great experience. One of my really good friends, obviously, on the team. Fortunately, he's hurt, but it's awesome to be in this environment and see the Aussie fans taking basketball.
Well, we'll see you at the Australian Open, but before that is the Brisbane International beginning next week. How excited are you to get off to a strong start in 2026?
Very, very. You know, I had a great time at home for the last couple months, so excited to get going and try to put on a show out here in Australia. The fans are amazing, so I'm really excited to get going.
Was there anything that you did for New Year's Eve? Anything special in Australia? Where'd you go catch the fireworks?
Man, I wish I stayed up for the fireworks. I was still so jet lagged. I tried so hard, but I hope I can have some good nights and good vibes the rest of the week. But man, I hate that I missed New Year's. I love New Year's.
Well, I didn't make it to midnight either, but from the DMV to down under, look at us, look at us. Thank you so much for joining me and enjoy the rest of the game.
Thank you.
Yeah, former quarterfinalist at the Australian Open, semi-finalist US Open as Elijah Pepper got the 3 to count. Back-to-back triples for him, which is great.
And For those of you wondering, what is the DMV that Ariana
I had no idea.
refers to as we see Pepper knock this one down in transition? I am also a native of the DMV.
What's that?
District, Maryland, Virginia.
I gotcha. Right. Are we getting that lazy? It's too much for to say. The full.
Oh, and then Freeman Liberty's just coughed it up. He almost did it earlier, and he's just gifted it to Elijah Pepper, who's got 8 unanswered points of his own, and just like that.
Sloppy.
That's a 12-zip run to start the quarter.
It's really unacceptable that those types of turnovers.
Poor shot there.
Early, too. You still got 12, 14 seconds left on the shot clock to see if you can generate something better than that.
Norton, good hands. Couldn't take possession. Now they have the advantage here, the Perth Wildcats. Good find for Doolittle. That's a 15-zip run.
Wow.
And John Riley's got the response he was after.
And Andrew, you often talk about the two-way nature of basketball. Poor offense by the Bullets leads to outstanding offense by the Wildcats.
It is. It has been really poor offense by the Brisbane Bullets coming out. There's another one. Now, Mitch Norton, he can make them, but in this context where you haven't scored, it's a 15-0 run. To me, that's a bad shot. The last 3 possessions, the shots, notwithstanding the turnovers, but the shots have been poor.
Well, I thought there was an opportunity to get Holt into some on-balls with any of their perimeter players. He sets a good screen, seems to have good awareness on the short roll or a hard dive to the bucket, and we've seen him knock down some jumpers from deep.
Challenging period here for Brisbane. They need to knuckle down. Nathaniel checks in. And they get a stop. Will the Perth continue to roll? Henschel. Pepper this time with the offensive rebound. Henschel again doesn't settle, attacks the basket. He can't score, but Wala Chul, he couldn't either. And Norton commits another foul. That'll be his second in a row.
Well, they're pounding the glass. Up to 9 offensive boards now for the Wildcats.
It looks straight to me. It looks like and blue, sub red.
This is where it gets tough, Andrew. You've been in that position as a head coach in the NBL. You just feel that momentum turning against you. And you're searching for answers.
Here's Pepper for 3 in the corner. Oh, Pepper's starting to get hot.
I like it.
3 counts.
Great action.
Spicy is.
1 shot.
Good awareness by the Wildcats. You look at the Amy replay. They know Pepper is starting to cook.
That's just not good enough, though, Terry.
I'm going to give credit to the offense.
No,
it's
but
the intelligence.
No, I hear, but the game is on the line. It's getting away from you. Javon Freeman Liberty just ran into the screen. No urgency to fight over the top. And it's just not good enough.
I do not disagree with you. And he didn't even really get any help from the big of the man that was setting the screen either. Pepper just comes off, catches it in rhythm, gets the contact. Man, Perth up by 15 just like that, Joey.
Yeah, that's 19 zip run to start this quarter. Brisbane yet to score. For all the good work they put together in the first half. Freeman Liberty tries to get going. Holt, maybe he could be the one. And he didn't get the shot away in time. It's just all starting to fall apart for Brisbane.
That 19 points has come in less than 5 minutes. So a real offensive explosion. It's been in a number of ways. Off the stops, in transition, off the half court, at the rim, threes, free throws. To hit him with the whole array of shots at the moment.
Pepper has 12 of the 19. Does he have the heat check in him? He wanted to. Now it's going to be Windler. Step back from the logo. There's another air ball for you, Drewy.
I think I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there. There might have been a little touch. Slight block. on that, but this has been impressive by the Perth Wildcats. You know, we can be critical of Brisbane, which we need to be because of the way they're playing, but Perth have been good enough to capitalise on it.
That's off his leg.
That's another turnover. Things are really unravelling at the moment. Is there anyone that Daryl McDonald can turn to? Tyrell Harrison is out, as Ariana told us, for the game.
Well, we talked about the Perth Wildcats needing a jolt to start the third quarter. Now the Bullets find themselves in that position. And Andrew, I think now you just start going a bit unorthodox with some lineups and with some strategies. You got to change this rhythm right now.
Here's Doolittle, just wants to go straight at Smith Milner.
18, push through.
They go to the free throw line. Doolittle, as we said, up to now the 9 points, 4 rebounds.
The thing that's hard to recognise as you watch the Brisbane Bullets, respectfully, don't have the same level of talent as some of the other teams, is that you don't see a recognisable set on who their targets are going to be on the offensive end. So you always get to those critical points in games we go, okay, this is a critical point. Who's our go-to guy? What is our set going to be? Now, it may not end with him, but you know that the priority is going to be there. That it's the 3-on-3 side, to the 2-on-2 side, to a dribble handoff, to another on-ball. And it's just almost like a random action of where the destination is going to be.
Davis in the end runs the floor, and it's Holt who's been their go-to man tonight. He's got 15.
Joey, to Andrew's point, you know, they brought Javon Freeman Liberty back. I'm sure they thought he was going to be the guy.
We might be, but what's the action that you're going to get through in order to get him in his preferred position? Now, it might be there and it's just not being executed, but I don't recognise it.
Now they don't have too many recognised scorers on the floor, so it might be Holt. Davis, he gets it to go. Back to 13. And they've just halted the momentum momentarily.
Just a lack of experience foul there by Devers, not understanding the angle you must take on a closeout when the baseline is empty, and just overdoes it on the top side too much and allows Desh to rip that through and create contact for a foul.
You know what also would be unfair, people watching this at home, is to using this as some kind of critical judgment on Daryl McDonald. Now people say, well, hang on, this is his 5th game. It's not his team. He's had very, very little practice time. They've had 5 games in, 12 days. So very little practice time on the floor. And you just don't have enough to implement your system, have enough time to implement your system. So I think it would be wrong for people to be judging Daryl McDonald in his last 5 games as to whether or not he's the long-term head coach.
Milner. Moving the ball well, 16 assists on their 19 field goals, the Brisbane Bullets. They've shed the ball around as Holt gets up and gets the block, and he wants the ball. And they will get possession.
It looked like he blocked the shot. Look at the replay here.
Blocked it into his hand, did he? Off the hand of Requera last. I suppose joining us late, Tyrell Harrison. Check out of this game midway through the second quarter. An ugly clash of heads with Mitch Norton that also hurt a lower leg, and he won't be back at all for tonight. Here's Davis looking to be aggressive. Really commits the foul.
Last couple of minutes have been better for the Brisbane Bullets.
Second Wildcats team foul.
Just playing with a little bit more pop. Starting to string together a couple of stops on the defensive end. Need 2 here from Devers. I'd even be inclined to hop into some type of press up the floor. Keeping in mind, Jaren really probably isn't as sharp as he's going to be just coming back from that hamstring injury.
And I suspect they're going to take a cautious approach with him. I know how hamstrings can be a little tricky with recovery, but he's a young man, so that might help his cause.
Here is Willie. Aquera decides to fire away from the corner, and that looked good from the minute it left his hand.
And that's tough right there. Good defense up the floor, nice pressure. You get a pretty contested 3-point attempt by a guy that doesn't shoot it great from the 3, and he knocks it down.
Here's Davis. Comes up short. Hustle from Norton and holds as well. Unfortunately, just a backcourt violation. Eight turnovers for the Brisbane Bullets tonight, 7 for Perth.
Bullets with only 1 player in double figures. That being Jacob Holt. Drew, is that a backcourt?
Yeah, it is. The ball is gone over the line, and his control tipped that back.
Thank you.
Hold there, hold!
Here's Willie.
Nice. Yeah, I hate that they blow that whistle right there. Pretty sure JLA is going to get possession of that and continue to play.
We have one hand on this side.
Maybe wait to let us see what happens, how it unfolds, and maybe go to the line for an N1.
Bonus 2. Bonus 2 guys. I think it's because he swings you around, okay?
JLA's got him down there. Nice delivery. He's got control of the
So
ball.
I think we go bonus side here and be
I
good.
don't think he could have gotten it up.
No, he actually was getting bear hugged by the big fella.
JLA will go to the strike. We remember the Ignite Cup presented by Disney Plus heading to the Gold Coast Feb 22. Players sharing that $400,000 prize pool. Make sure you check it out. Head to NBL.com.au/Ignite for an update on the situation as JLA misses both. And there is the opportunity for the Burgers by the NBL app, code word live. Maybe something for the fans tonight if they don't get the winners. Aquera goes back-to-back from the corner. It's now a game-high 17 points.
Andrew, I'm in Brisbane tomorrow. Does the code still work?
I think so. Why not?
Daniel Norton continues to fire away, but no luck. Now Detch.
We've been talking about the most improved player award a little bit, Andrew. I'm going to throw David Aquera in there just as a candidate. He's been very good this season. The team's success maybe hinders his prospect, but he's been good.
From where he's come as well, he's served a long apprenticeship, been with a couple of different franchises, and he's got good size, great athleticism, and he's now a legit player in this league. I'm not sure he's going to get there, but I agree with you. It's a good nomination.
Smith Milner, 4 of 19 from the three-point line, Brisbane. Up there 3 in a row in that second quarter when they started to make their comeback. Outside of that, it's been really slim pickings. JLA likes the matchup on young Dalton. Aquera for 3 in a row. And there's Pepper getting the offensive rebound amongst the big boys.
I have you getting blocked.
Good offense there by the Wildcats. Generate another open 3-ball. That time, Aquera couldn't go 3 in a row. But the Wildcats have certainly answered the challenge in this third quarter.
Rebound count +10 in favour of Perth now, without Tyrell Harrison, who's been a walking double-double for most of the season, is Dalton with a great find for Norton.
Cal Dalton from one of the great basketball families in Australian history. He knows how to play the game.
Here he's trying to guard JLA. It's the foul.
Yeah, it is. And that hasn't had a lot of opportunities, but gets some playing time here this evening, and that's a great pass, great find. When you think of Sons of Guns, there's a few of the Brisbane team. Bradkey, Purchase, Colton,
McDaniel.
Oh my.
One.
58% free throw shooter on the season tonight. He's got 3 of 6.
35, Red, in the head. And I like John really going with JLA and Aquera at the same time. Not something we see a lot of, but I think it's worth exploring, and especially now with a 16-point lead. It's a perfect time.
Oh my goodness.
They have had trouble with that inbound pass a number of times this quarter. The pressure from Perth.
Oh.
It's been a 31-point-to-9 quarter. And then, I'm not sure where that was intended.
Well, it was intended for Dalton down low, but it missed it by a long way.
Well, the conviction on the pass was really good.
Here's Detch on his 32nd birthday. Windler. Hasn't done a lot today, just the 4 points. Sequeira, he's had a good handle on this quarter. And then, again, Perth have stepped out of bounds.
5.6 on the clock. Down.
Oh no, that's not so bad.
Good push there by Norton. Splits a couple of the Wildcats defenders. And as he got over the three-point line, generated contact and was smart enough to get it up. Almost got an and one opportunity.
Two.
It's going to be a real interesting last 6 or so weeks for the Brisbane Bullets, just to see what type of character the organisation and the players have, because it's tough. You've got a lot of games left, 33-game schedule, and you've got to find a way to make something happen.
That was their equal lowest scoring quarter of the season for the Brisbane Bullets. Perth absolutely dominated. And after trailing by 4 points at half-time, they lead by 16 with this game well and truly in control in the Hungry Jacks NBL.
Two hands, and then we're going to give you 2 balls. So let's have a practice first.
for the Brisbane Bullets if they want to make a comeback and try to win this ball game. I was listening in to head coach Daryl McDonald during that last timeout. He told his team it's time to go. Let's get into our offense and let's get more motion so we can find good shots. But guys, I have to ask a question about where certain players are. Derek, you mentioned it earlier. I want to see more from JFL, but also Terry Taylor. During their big win here against New Zealand, I believe he had 15-plus points. Only 2 shot attempts from Terry Taylor going into this fourth quarter. Only 8 from Javon Freeman-Liberty, and Alex Dukas has 7. And I think more from all 3 of them is much needed to make a push during this fourth.
Yeah, that's a great question, Ariana. And Taylor's a guy who we've seen take over for this Bullets team at certain patches during his short stint here as he tries to get aggressive now. But, he's swinging the elbows around, and he got Pepper flush across the grill, Joey.
Well, the elbows weren't out. I think he tried to keep them tucked in. He was just trying to rip it away. See, what's the elbows there? Oh, I don't think he hit. Did he hit him?
Maybe some chin music.
The late whistle from the ref, I do know that. Once he saw Pepper go down.
So you're saying good acting, Drew?
No, I don't know, but on that angle there, it didn't. It looked like there was some separation between the elbow and. No, he hit him.
He got him.
He definitely got him. No, he didn't get him with the pointer, but he got it more with the forearm. But it was a good call, an appropriate call.
Yeah, but to Ariana's point, he had a couple of those 18-point games, Derek. His last 3, this is Terry Taylor. He's averaged 8 points, shooting at 27% from the field. And again tonight, he's just had the 5 points, 1 of 3 from the field. You need more from your imports if you're going to be competitive in this league, don't you?
Well, not just them as well, but Alex Dukas, I mentioned at the start of the game, the expectation of him was high coming from an NBA championship winning roster. And I suspect he is a big ticket item, and they're just not getting enough out of him.
Yeah, I just feel, my lens is going to be more focused on the imports, Joey. And you come into a game like this with opportunities to impress other teams in the NBL. And I just feel with Freeman-Liberty's talent, Andrew, to only have 7 points and not really be a factor at all in this game as Dukas strengthens your case.
Pepper gets a few little boos from the crowd that thought there may have been a bit of acting in that play. As Wiley Wagstaff helps himself to a couple, and it's out to 20. And that 20-point number's all too familiar for these Brisbane Bullets. 9 times this year they've lost by at least 20.
And you know what we're talking about? Well, I was talking a little bit about the character test that they're going to be facing over the next 6 weeks.
The rest put the whistle away. Everyone stopped.
That defense is not showing the type of determination and character that you'd like to see.
But Joey, in the last game when the 2 teams met, it was a third-quarter defensive lockdown by the Perth Wildcats that extended the lead and put it out of reach for the Bullets. And again here, their pressure, the Perth Wildcats have just suffocated the Bullets, and now Dukas exemplifies the frustration felt by him and his teammates. JFL watches silently.
So Perth have done really well this second half. Ramped up their defense. Made it difficult for Brisbane, who again just turned the ball over.
I mean, and this is independent. It's irrespective of what team you're playing for, how long you played with that team. This is basic basketball. In pickup, you wouldn't do that. Oh, gee.
Winluck with a turn over the other end.
No, you're right. And this is also to not have that real dominating Darryl McDonald type point guard as well. To organise, to take charge. To be able to find people, to penalise some type of this extended pressure.
Number 10, financial.
Get in that corner.
Second personal. And first
For Bullets fans, it doesn't get any easier because Sunday afternoon,
Can't run here, okay?
they got the Adelaide 36ers rolling into town.
Yeah. Probably without Tyrell Harrison, for those joining late, who went out of the game as again, Henschel just easily picked the pocket and then finishes the play himself. And Daryl McDonald has seen enough. He needs to call another Tangerine timeout. He needs to chat to the troops because Perth are absolutely dominating this half. They lead by 22.
Please welcome on the floor your Brisbane Bullets cheer squad.
The Brisbane Bullets, as you said, Derek, have the Adelaide 36ers coming to town on Sunday. So maybe without Tyrell Harrison, that'll be a challenge. And for the Perth Wildcats, will they continue their road trip, so to speak? Another couple of away games. They've got New Zealand Breakers on Sunday in New Zealand before playing next Saturday in Melbourne against the South East Melbourne Phoenix.
And Andrew, we can't sit up here and lie and act like we haven't played for bad teams and have not been in the situation that the Bullets are in right now. But at some point, you just go out there.
That's gone, has it?
Not gone.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. These are critical. Keep yourself in play.
Get them to 12 and 10. A bunch of teams above them with the 7 losses. So they still have their work cut out. They're getting that top 4, but it does give them a bit of breathing space. As you said, as Stukas knocks down another one. That's his second for the night. He's got 6 points.
2 of 9 from the field and a minus 24 in the game. Ooh. Just tell them how it is, Joe.
No, that's fair enough.
Pepper, who started the rot in that third quarter. Rejected. There was Dukas at the defensive end, and Holtz pulls down his 7th rebound to go with his 15 points. He has been the bright light. In fact, he's been the shining light for the past 4 to 6 games, Jacob Holt.
Well, certainly in this one, he's the type of spirit that you need to see during these dark days. So you've got to show some passion, some enthusiasm, some excitement, some joy. And that's hard when things aren't going your way on the scoreboard. Joey, you've been there as well in some of those dark days with the Saints.
Why are you bringing that up? We're talking basketball. You just want to knock this guy down. He's doing a good job on the play-by-play call. He's taking off a holiday, unlike you last night, who didn't show up, decide to go away. Leave Joey alone.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying you know how it feels to be in this circumstance. That's the point. No matter what team sport you're playing, that's the point.
It is right. It's a challenge, isn't it? You see it in there, like, you know.
Hey, I went through 4 seasons in Townsville where we did not win. And it's tough.
Absolutely it is.
It challenges your resolve to show up every day and put in an honest effort and get better, when seemingly there is no better.
That's right. And as much as you go through that process, deep down, you know as a group that's not quite there. But how do you make the most of the circumstances? And have a look at that history. It's a proud history for the Brisbane Bullets.
JLA, who had a good first half. 10 points, now got 15.
Yes, you're right, Joey. And these are important minutes here for Jaron, really. Hasn't played a lot of critical minutes in this game so far. Now's the chance for him to start to feel the game, feel the speed of the game again.
Dukas throws it away once again, up to 15 turnovers now on the night for Brisbane.
It's just not the volume of the turnovers, it's the type of turnovers that we're seeing. They're real basic fundamental stuff, a lot of it.
Now, I say with a great degree of optimism and certainty that Hunter Maldonado will help in that regard. He should incorporate their scores. JFL and Terry Taylor a lot better. Windler tries to put Smith Milner in the cup, draws the foul. He'll go to the line to shoot two. But Joey, I think that Maldonado could bring some cohesion on the offensive end.
Yeah.
And some security. And, you know, he's more than capable of providing that to the Bullets.
And plus, he's that sort of guy that can be a creator. Like you're saying, right now it's odd to be saying this, but they need help getting the ball over the halfway line.
Well, it's too much on Mitch Norton. He's carrying a tremendous burden, and physically it wears him down.
But even in the half court, I think that Maldonado, he's going to be helpful.
Windler, the 5th scorer in double digits for the Perth Wildcats.
And I like the fact that Johnny really's kept Windler out there. Try and generate some confidence. Get him going. Normally right now you're saying, well, we need to sit these types of guys as Dukas comes in and flashes another 3 of 7.
Getting his stroke going late in this 4th quarter.
Sunday Detch going at Jack Purchase.
Be careful what you say about Jack Purchase, Joey. Drew already got on you about your playing days. You don't want.
No, you missed the point there.
Look at the Amy replay, Drew. Look at that stroke.
Don't try and drive a wedge between me and just saying we've all been there. You've been there, I've been there, we've all been there. And
but you know it's a bad. You can remember how.
That's
remember
right.
how it feels. It's terrible. It takes you back there viscerally. And so I guess there is a certain level of compassion.
Yeah. No,
that's interesting, because individually these players feel like they're trying, but just when there's no connection and no confidence, it looks so much worse.
And they haven't had a lot of practice time over the last 3 weeks since D-Mac's come in.
JLA pulls down another offensive rebounds. It's his 5th of the night. And he's been able to dominate the boards without Tyrell Harrison for 2.5 quarters.
And you would think, Andrew, maybe another possession or two for JLA. And he'll be done for the evening.
Smith Milner.
18.
That'll be his 5th. He'll foul out. So
Stop, that's 5 personal.
He's out of the game. JLO will go to the free throw line. He's 3 of 6 tonight. And it means Jacob Holt will come on and finish the game. The crowd love him. Becoming a bit of a fan favourite.
Well, he's been the shining light in this one. 15 points, 6 of 10 from the field. He's got 7 boards.
100 years of thrills, laughs and joy. The Harlem Globetrotters coming to a city near you June, July this year now, 2026.
Yes.
Don't miss your chance to be a part of the legacy. Buy tickets, scan the QR code. Something you need to do once in your lifetime. Go and watch the Harlem Globetrotters.
Sure.
Only a few months away as Jacob Holt wasn't able to add to his tally. Windler easily gets right to the basket. He's up to 12.
Now, they're junk points, but they do wonders for your confidence.
100%. Your brain doesn't know any difference when it reads that you have 15 points instead of 6.
That's right. That's right.
There's again a replay.
Nice move, too.
Margin 24 points. You know that already this season, Brisbane 7 losses by 25 plus, which is the most in franchise history. And ideally not want to make it 8. They can put some points on the board late. And a technical foul.
Technical foul on the bench. 1 shot. 1 here, 1 here. 1 shot. 1 shot there.
May have been Dukas that said something, or potentially the coach.
1 shot.
Not many coaches can get away with grabbing the referee like that.
It was 5-1 the third quarter.
Oh,
what have we done that we can't get no call? I know teams are aggressive. Fuck me.
Red ball,
Thinking
Sunday.
that he's got bigger issues to worry about. But referring to the foul count, feels like it's been a little lopsided.
20 fouls to 13. In favour of Perth Wildcats. Parker Hegg, the next star, getting some minutes. Russo Nance on the floor as well with Lat Mayan. McDaniel gets another 3-ball to drop. Another turnover. Davis kick it back out. Holt wants it down low.
We're under 2, I'll review it.
Might stay Brisbane ball.
Replay center.
They're
I
going to
have
review
blue
it.
ball. Can you please review the out of bounds?
Thought the double team came a little late. Clearly a mismatch down low with Holt and Detch. Let's have a look. Well, that's come off the shoulder of Holt, I think.
Red.
It's going to be a red ball.
Good eyes, Drew. Good hands there by Sunday Desch as he was able to get that ball off of Holt. Looked like his right shoulder.
Russo Nance. Off the mark. Hefner knocks it down.
Cam Hefner squares up, knocks that one down from deep. Wildcats just with a modest evening shooting the basketball, but they're able to capitalize in that third quarter. Purchase needs to go ahead and get one off.
Terry Taylor just 1 of 3 from the field tonight. He gets that one to fall, but
That's just not enough opportunities. Perth defense, but
He played 29 minutes, Drew.
yeah, and I just think the actions, there's just not enough help. He's the sort of player that can do things like that, but needs a bit more help with his structure in order for those opportunities to be presented more regularly.
We saw him have a good game down in Illawarra a few weeks ago. And the other night against Melbourne United, he made some nice offensive plays. But just more consistent performance when he is on the floor would be extremely valuable to the Bullets as they're away again.
Now it's better defense. Divas up to 9 points. And they get it under 20. Here's Lat Mayan getting some opportunity, and he's fouled on the three-point attempt.
Blue 32, in 3 shots. 3 here, guys. 3 shots. Go, line up.
Down a couple of threes against Adelaide in that loss a few nights ago.
And a strange one. Of the Bullets, 27 made field goals, Andrew, and this is really rare for them. They have 24 assists, which is an astronomical rate. And this is a team that, especially with Casey Prather in the lineup, they're a high ISO team. And so if you're looking for any positives, that would be it.
19 of 24 from the free throw line tonight for the Wildcats. Here's Holtz. Just 2 points in this second half after having 13 in that first half. Chance here for Purchase. Parker Hegg. Opportunity for Mayan. Parker Hegg, nice play.
Great length. NKH gets on the offensive glass for his first 2 of the night.
Just took the easy option there.
What are you talking about? I gave him that nickname. His name had already been officially said by Joey.
And Holtz able to get it to go. Kwaku Egg caught one in the face.
That's it.
And it is a 20-point margin in the end. We take a look at the replay. Oh, accidental.
Head clash.
Clash of heads. But in the end, the Perth Wildcats did what they needed to do. They dominated after half-time. He's just asking if his teeth are still okay. Everyone says they're fine, young fella. You'll be right. And the Perth Wildcats move on to New Zealand on Sunday, getting the job done at home after a scratchy first half where they trailed by 4. It was a commanding performance, and in the end, a really even team performance.
My word, it was. And the Perth Wildcats got some good performances from guys that have been up and down. Ben Henschel started the game magnificently, ended it with the 12 points. And Joe Luala-Chul was a focus. He had the 17, and Windler some late points with the 12. Elijah Pepper just caught fire the start of the third, and that's what he can do. He can get really streaky. So the Perth Wildcats, they'll go back, and certainly some alarm bells were there in the first half, but they were able to respond, which is an encouraging sign for Perth and the Perth fans.
And they need to improve on the defensive end, and that's how they got this victory. And if they want to try and challenge for one of those top 4 spots, that's where they'll have to improve. I think offensively, they have enough natural talent to put enough points on the board. But on the nights when it's not happening for them on that end, can they limit the other team's offensive productivity?
That was their third best result, keeping a team to 75 points. Only twice have they done better this season, the Perth Wildcats, so they'll be happy with that number on the defensive end.
But one of the times was against this mob earlier in the season as well. He had him in the 60s, I think it was. So they've had their number against the Brisbane Bullets after getting beaten comprehensively at home. They've come to Brisbane and taken care of business.
He still wants to make sure that his teeth are there and they haven't been chipped. Now, we'll get down to courtside to Ariana Prather as the Foot Locker player of the game with her.
That's right, I'm here with the Foot Locker player of the game, JLA. You guys were down at halftime and then completely dominated in the second half. How are you guys able to make that switch?
I think the key is just not overreacting. Like, I think in this league, there's no easy game, especially when you're playing on the road. Like, we obviously respect the Bullets, and we didn't think we were going to come in here and just blow them away. So we knew it's going to be a grind, and we embraced it. And then slowly just kind of, separate ourselves from them.
When you think about the resilience of this team, how important is it during this time of the year?
No, it's super important. I think I can go down a list of a bunch of stuff that's happened, whether it's injury or whatever, but the biggest thing is the guys are resilient, and we're a good group, and it's just next man up mentality.
It looked like Wagstaff was giving your group a passionate speech there at the end of the game. What did he say?
That's just Wags being Wags.
It's always good to have a veteran leader on the team. Thank you so much.
Yep, thank you.
Guys.
Thank you, Ariana. Yeah, we take a look at the highlights for Joe Luala-Chilner. His most dominant performance, but he was certainly a focal point early and he was able to get them off to a good start.
Yeah, it was a balanced performance by JLA. I thought he did a really good job rebounding the basketball. He finished with the 17 and 8 as we saw. And, Andrew, we still need a little bit more for him in the big games.
Yeah.
I don't think this type of performance will bode well against a Melbourne United or a Sydney. He needs to be able to get himself 25 points, 12 rebounds.
It is, and I think David Duke Jr., let's not underestimate his absence as well as far as creativity, creating for others. So that's a big addition still to come.
Let's get back down courtside. Ariana.
That's right, I'm here with Elijah Pepper. We were just talking a little bit off cam, how you were able to light it up from deep, 50% from the three-point line. How are you able to make any rim feel like home?
Confidence, a lot of work. It hasn't been going in lately, but you just keep shooting. Eventually, the numbers are going to average out.
You guys have another long road trip to New Zealand. What do you guys have to do to stay mentally prepared as you continue a long journey on the road?
Not getting complacent. We got a big win tonight, but we got to stay ready. New Zealand's been playing well. We got to get a win on the road and just keep going.
I just talked to him, JLA. How easy is it to be able to just throw the ball inside to someone like that and know that he'll get to work?
Oh, it's great when you have a 7-footer that has position every single time, and he's a great finisher. You just throw it up there, and he's going to grab it. He's all the way out there. You just throw it to him, and he's got it.
Exactly. We'll have to test that out a little bit more. I asked him, but you guys were down at the halftime, so I have to ask you, what do you think was the key to turning this game around and winning by 20?
I think hustle plays. We only had 1 rebound at halftime. We got a bunch in the second half, and then turning up the heat. A lot of turnovers we forced them into, and then we were able to turn that into offense.
Well, way to work tonight. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Guys.
Yeah, Elijah Pepper there. He's been struggling with his three ball, as he said, over his last 10 games, just over 20% with the three ball, but tonight he was able to get it to go when they needed him.
Well, he's got to shoot his mentality, keep shooting it up, and it'll average out. And it's starting to help him with what he did here tonight. And he got him going when they needed him too. And sometimes it's not just how many you get, it's when you get them. And they trailing at halftime, he came out and set the tone, got him off to a flyer. And he has the capacity to do this, average 36 or thereabouts, playing in the NBL 1 competition in the preseason. But his point is very valid in regards to JLA and the opportunities that he presents for others.
Well, they get the job done to start the new year. The Perth Wildcats, Francis Tiafo, who will be heading to the Australian Open soon, was in the house. They watched the Perth Wildcats.
There's no doubt about it. It's their best performances all year. There's no doubt about that.
Perth Wildcats, 20 points. We'll be back to wrap it all up right after this. Perth Wildcats start 2026 in strong fashion with a 20-point win over the Brisbane Bullets. They were trailing at half-time, but a 19-0 run to start the third quarter set up a big performance for them as they continue to cement themselves inside the top six and continue the struggles for the Brisbane Bullets, particularly at home. They weren't able to get the job done. Derek Rucker, Andrew Gaze, what do you take a look at the full-time stats? What do you make of it?
Well, it was the turnovers, and as you said, that 19-0 run to start the third, it was predicated on a lot of Brisbane Bullets' careless turnovers in the backcourt. And Andrew, when you look at the pressure Perth applied, it wasn't anything sophisticated. It wasn't anything that really Daryl McDonald needed to call a timeout and strategize against. Yeah. I thought it was just poor execution by the players, not being aware and not being secure enough with the basketball.
Yeah, there's some uncertainty about how they're playing, and as a highlight to what you're talking about, that's just sloppy. A lazy bounce pass, an indefensible situation. Again, a simple inbound and not reading the defence. That's the sort of stuff you see at the junior level. Again, just really poor execution of getting the ball in bounds. And yes, there's skills in this where Maldonado is hopefully going to make a difference, but it doesn't matter who you have out there, those types of passes, there's just got to be a greater attention to detail, to the basics.
Yeah, their 10th 20-point loss of the season for the Brisbane Bullets, and it doesn't get any easier because on Sunday they are going to be hosting the red-hot Adelaide 36ers as the Hungry Jacks NBL continues through the rest of the week, and tomorrow night's the big one. Gaze, I know you're excited to be there, Derek. Adelaide 36ers, Sydney Kings. Can Adelaide get a win?
Oh, that's going to be a great contest. And, Drew, you get to see your man up close and personal, Bryce Cotton.
Yeah, no, it is. And they are a good chance to win. Remember, they were 16 up in that game in Canberra, 16-18 up, and weren't able to close it out, so they can play.
Well, that'll do us from here tonight. Brisbane Entertainment Centre. Thank you to Ariana Prey, the courtside. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes. Thank you to you, as always.
Happy New Year.
Gaze,
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
This program is brought to you by Hungry Jacks and Bunnings Warehouse.
Channel 1, 111, 222, Channel 2. 222, hello, welcome and thank you.